Welcome to Two Growlers, a show for craft beer drinkers like you, by craft beer drinkers like you. Brought to you by Beerploma, LLC. Check out our website at beerploma.com for more info about us.
Sorry, Lynn, I shouldn't goof around when you're doing that. You're advertising my company. Bad me. Okay, so guys, welcome back. I believe this is episode number 5 of Two Growlers, and if this is your first time joining us, then it's episode 205. So, welcome back. It's a nice fall evening here. It's September. It's getting dark out a little bit earlier. So, and of course, that means the start of football season. So here we all are, and we're here to talk about some great football eats that we're going to make with beer. But first, before we get into that, I'd like to introduce our guest, Ryan. Thanks for joining the show.
Thanks, Will. Long time.
Welcome, Ryan.
Long time fan, first time guest.
Now, some of you guys who have been watching our show regularly, you'll probably see Ryan's name in our credits. He's been our cameraman on a couple events now, and I hope we get to continue on with that tradition with him. But not only that, but you are a former Minnesota Gopher player, aren't you?
Absolutely.
What position did you play?
I was an offensive lineman.
Okay, and you played all 4 years of your college career?
Yep.
Okay, and did you walk away with a degree?
I did.
Okay, what was it in?
Economics.
Okay. And also on a side note, Ryan and I actually worked together. It's how I met the guy, and it's the only way I could get someone famous to show up on my show. So welcome aboard.
Easy. I was an offensive lineman, so I clearly wasn't famous.
Well, welcome to the show anyway, and then welcome to this side of the camera, actually, more importantly. So, like I said earlier, it's time for another great football season. When he's not wearing his Gopher jersey, he is a Viking fan, so we do have some representation here. And unfortunately, as you can see now, and you guys are probably all turning off your videos now that you see that border Lynn and I sit. But that's okay. We support Wisconsin beers too. And so, you know, to start off the football season, we thought we would take our first show and we would talk about great eats that you could cook up while you're hosting a football party. And both these two recipes that we're going to do tonight actually feature beer in them. So, without further ado, one last thing. We do have some upcoming events coming up, and this one's for us at beerploma.com. On October 12th, we do have a brewery tour with Badger Hill. If you guys have any questions or comments you'd like to ask Badger Hill, please email them to us at info@beerploma.com or leave us a message on Facebook or on Twitter. Okay, I already introduced the food. I'm going to probably cut that and paste it, switch it around. So. Well, I didn't want to leave you guys high and dry and just give you guys food without some beer. So Flat Earth had a new line bottled, and this is Hepcat. It's their blonde ale. Now, the last time I had Hepcat, it was actually infused with apricot. Although I don't see apricot on this name, but I always thought the Hepcat had the apricot in it. But I guess this, I'm not sure if this is going to have the apricot in it or not, but hey, it's Flat Earth, so you know what can go wrong. Yes, it does. It's definitely got that blonde. Right now, blonde ales are kind of all the rage right now, especially in Minnesota when you're looking at, like, Fulton's has, what's the blonde one? Fulton's has the...
Lonely blonde.
Yes, Lonely Blonde. So, and you're also seeing that, you're blonde, but you're not lonely, I know that for sure. So, okay, let's talk about the food today. So our recipes come from 2 books. And the first book we're going to be looking at is a recipe from Cooking with Beer. Okay, that one is. Actually, can I have you run that up there and put that in front of the camera so everybody can see it?
Should be good.
Yep. So, and what the recipe I cooked out of this one is the sweet and spicy beer nuts, and they're sitting right here in this bowl right here. I'm going to unwrap them here. But while I'm doing this, let's cut to the footage of me cooking in the kitchen. Hello and welcome to the Beerploma Kitchen. Today we're going to be kicking off the football season with some great recipes to serve to your guests for when you're throwing those football parties. So our first recipe comes from the book Cooking with Beer, and it is available on grocery store shelves now, so keep your eyes peeled for it. And the first one we're going to do is called the Sweet and Spicy Beer Nuts. Our second recipe comes from the book Beer, a Cookbook, which is available on Amazon.com or at your local bookstore. And this one we're going to be trying out the mini beer dogs. So kick back, grab a beer, and join with us, and let's get some great eats going. Prost! Okay, so we're going to start off with our sweet and spicy beer nuts. First I'm going to take 2 cups of pecan halves, And then I've already mixed it all together here, but I've got 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of chili powder, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then a half teaspoon of cumin in here. So we're going to add these to our nuts and we're going to mix them up. Meanwhile, my oven is preheating right now at 350 degrees right now, because we are going to toast these nuts as soon as they are thoroughly mixed. Okay, our next step is to spread our mixture of nuts and all the other goodies out onto a baking sheet, like so. And then we are going to stick them in the oven for 10 minutes. There they are, roasting away at 350 degrees. Alright, now our pecans are out and they're cooling, and it's now time to make the glaze. So to make the glaze, what we're going to do is we're going to take a half cup of sugar and a half cup of beer. And for this one we're going to do, where is it there? Schell's Goose Island, which is going to hopefully add a little bit of coriander and salt taste for this one. I really like using Schell's for cooking beer because it's just all around well versatile and comes in a lot of different varieties. So 1/2 cup sugar, 1/2 cup beer. Okay, we're now going to keep mixing this and stirring this until it's completely dissolved. The recipe book does say that we should try to get it up to 250 degrees via a candy thermometer, but I don't have one of those, so I'm just going to have to play it by ear here. And we're just going to keep it stirring to keep it from burning, to keep it from sticking to the edges of the pan and making us a mess later. So just keep stirring. Still stirring. I can really smell that beer flavor coming out now. Oop, now it's starting to boil over. I'm going to slow her down there a little bit. Okay, I've now been stirring this glaze now for about 10 minutes, and as you can see it's really thickening up here, so it's getting to the consistency that we're looking at. Getting a nice glazed look. It's about, I would say it's about 3/4 of the way there at this point. It's getting this nice thick look to it, so it smells delicious from here. My beer glaze is ready, so now we're going to take the nuts and we are going to slide them off into our baking sheet here, and after that we're going to mix them thoroughly. Oh, got hot. Okay, and our last step is here. I got a baking sheet covered in some wax paper to keep things from getting too sticky here. I'm going to spread our pecans out. And now we're going to break up the clusters and kind of spread them out as best we can. And now we're going to let these cool, and then we're going to serve them. Pretty easy to do. If you guys missed the recipe, don't worry. We're going to be posting it on our blog, and you can view our blog at www.beerploma.com. So here are our finished product. So why don't you guys dig in? Let me know what you think. They're good. Overall, they're good. I would have liked a little bit more of the spicy to come out of it, and I think I need a few more peppers. Every once in a while I'll get one with a lot of good pepper flavor to it, but occasionally I get one that needs a little help. So
Yeah, it's definitely got a good combination of sweet, salty, and a little bit of spicy as well.
can anybody taste the beer in it? So what I used, well, you guys know this already, but I used Schell's Goose Island, which should add a little bit of a coriander and a little bit of a salty taste to it.
Goosetown?
Goosetown, yeah.
Goosetown.
The one you were drinking before you came in here.
Yeah, they're good. And I think the first piece I took was just sweet, and then the second one had some spice on it too.
Yeah, definitely
it's a
pick
good
up
amount.
on that coriander taste as well from the beer. It'd be fun to try it out with some other beers as well.
How do you guys think it pairs with the Hepcat?
Let me try it.
It does well. It pairs. I mean, anything salty and anything salty is going to go along with beer. It's like a natural flavor combination.
It's good. Nice amount of carbonation to kind of wash away the sweet and spicy taste.
Okay, and for our second recipe, we're going to be switching to this book here, Good Food Made with Beer, the Beer, a Cookbook. And, sorry, Lynn. Sorry. And so now, while we're unwrapping these, we're going to cut into the footage, and you can watch these ones get cooked up. Okay, everybody, it's time to start our second recipe, which is our mini beer dogs. And first, we're going to take a pound of Little Franks, which I got right here, and then we are going to add 2 cups of beer to it. Pour them right over those things, and just FYI, a standard bottle of beer is just roughly around 2 cups. Let's throw it all in there. And for this recipe, we are going to be using Schell's Dark. Again, we're going to be sticking with that Schell's theme there. Let's get that going. Alright, so now I've had these simmering covered for about 5 minutes, and they are smelling really good right now. Just give them a quick stir. Well, we're going to take them, and we're going to pluck them out of their little beer bath, and then we're going to put them on a paper plate to drain. Alright, it's now time to prepare our spread that's going to go in and around these little hot dogs. So what we're going to do in there is we are going to take our half cup of finely minced onions. About half of what I actually chopped up there. And 4 tablespoons of our mustard. I didn't have any mustard in the house, but I just took some vinegar, some dry mustard I had, and I kind of made my own little concoction here. Probably not exactly the same, but that'll have to do. And last but not least, 1 tablespoon of sweet pickle relish. This is also where you can probably do a little experimenting. If you like Worcestershire sauce, this would be the time to do it. A little bit of soy sauce probably wouldn't hurt these things. Maybe a little bit more beer. Okay, we're going to mix those up. Nice little spread. Now we're going to set that aside, and we're going to get our biscuits ready for wrapping the dogs in. So our next step is now I've opened up one of those refrigerator packets of those refrigerator doughs, the ones that make those nice flaky biscuits that you can just pop in the oven. We're going to tear a little piece of that off. A little bit more. We're going to try to make a 2-inch circle out of one of these. Just like that. Just kind of play around with it. Careful about putting it down there too deep, because it does stick to this thing. Probably going to need to get myself a little bit of flour here to get this done right. Flour here so I can work these out. Get myself a nice little shape here of some form. I'll put a little bit of our mixture onto there. Take one of our hot dogs. Now we're going to roll her up. And I'm going to repeat this for the rest of the hot dogs that we have. Alright, so here's our finished product here. And now we're going to place them in the oven at 400 degrees. And we're going to let them bake for about 5 to 10 minutes until they're golden brown, and we're going to serve them hot. I am doing this part of the show the day before the show, so I'm actually going to just wrap these up and put them in the refrigerator so they're ready for tomorrow. So we'll cook them up and they'll be nice and hot for you guys. So hope you enjoyed the show. Okay, and here is our finished product, all baked up and nice and golden brown, and they look really good. So now guys, just remember that I had to make my own mustard on this one, and it came out tasting a lot like the Chinese hot mustards. So just be ready for that when you bite into these. But dig in.
Mustard's in it.
Yep, yep. You know, the beer flavor out of this one really came forward in the actual sausage. And for this one, I used Schell's Dark, and I'm actually now tasting it more after they've been baked a little bit.
Yeah, I can taste the beer a little bit more in these as well.
And my mustard mellowed out.
Yeah, it's not too hot, spicy.
Who knew I can make mustard? Well, guys, here's to the start of a really great football season. To whoever wins, Prost.
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 And go Pack.
And go Pack. Well, and that's our show for today. Thank you for watching. Please leave us a comment on our Facebook or YouTube page, and if you like the show, click that little like button. You can also find us in several podcast directories, including iTunes, BlackBerry, and Miro. See you next time. Prost.
Prost.
So what did you guys think?
Neither of you guys are invited to my house.
I'll take that beer back.
That's allowed.